So, welcome everybody to the Exploring Telepathy Zoom call that we hold every other week here in the Autism Telepathy Conversations Community Facebook group. Today is December 6th, 2025. We're quickly moving into the holidays and beyond. And I have the strong sensation that 2026 is going to be a year of massive shift on the planet, massive revelations, potentially extraterrestrial contact. Seems to be several guides have said that's really starting to formulate either next year or the year after. So many people coming online with the connection to their own inner guidance, and then which opens up the telepathic channel and the spiritual guidance channel and communication with each other channel. That's pretty crazy stuff. So, my name's Kevin Young. I'm an intuitive coach. I'm an admin for the Autism Telepathy Conversations community, which is founded by Caroline Coleman, who's one of the people in the original Telepathy Tapes podcast, and now in the second podcast. And now there's a documentary coming out next year on this beautiful experience of autism, telepathy, non-speaking, and speaking. So we're here just to enjoy ourselves and have a conversation around all this stuff, see what we can figure out, see where telepathy is leading us, see how we can open up ourselves to this broader guidance, this ability to see beyond ourselves and be guided and connected. And then there's no real path, specific path. Everybody's here to follow their own path. We're not here to prove anything to anyone. You're here to prove it to yourself or not. It's up to you. But I found that in my own life, the less I try to prove myself to anyone else, the quicker my own proof comes to me and the easier my life is. So I let go of that every moment that I suddenly feel like, oh, I've got to justify something or defend or prove. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what other people think of me. It's none of my business what they think of me. It's just my business to notice what I'm feeling and then shift my focus to where I'm being guided. And then life seems to follow me around in a positive way and provide the support that I need. And then the channels open up. And we'll be doing that today, both in our intro meditation and then later on, we'll do a telepathy practice. And really, both meditations are telepathic practices if you want them to be. And I don't know that Melissa will be here today. I mentioned that a little bit early, but she is traveling, I think, to Florida, and she wasn't sure if she would be able to hop on the call. So I'll probably leading that. I think you guys all know how to go connect with Zoom, so I won't be going over that. I see a couple of hands up. We're going to do the intro meditation, but if you got a quick question before we do the meditation, then go ahead. Hazel, did you have something you wanted to ask now or about anything, or do you want to wait till after we've done the meditation? Yeah, you got to unmute yourself. All right, you'll figure it out. Here, I'll help you. There you go.
Hello?
Yeah.
Oh, right. So a few very, very quick things. Um, uh, After the last conversation we had, it was something that Suzanne said about her son and when he was in having cancer and how she had to sort of stand back and release the emotions connected to it. Oh, that hurt me enormously because I'm having like, alienated from my son. And I step back because I was bombarding him all the time with texts. Oh, love you, miss you, all sorts of stupid stuff. And this is a 17-year-old boy. He doesn't want to hear that kind of shite every morning from his mom. But I stepped back completely, stepped back a whole week, did not contact him. And then out of the blue, I got a text message from his friend's mom. I've never met the friend's mom. I'm aware of her, and every now and again I text her to kind of say, is he okay? You know, he's not doing anything crazy or anything like my son. And she said that Rowan, that's my son, he specifically came to ask her to send me a message. He was doing okay. He hoped I was doing okay. She asked him if she could take a photograph to send to me. He said yes, and he did. So,
Wow.
did right. I stepped back, and now I've completely calmed down. And what I'm going to do every Sunday evening, and I'll remember, I'll just stick to Sunday evening. I'll give him a little brief synopsis of how, so he knows I'm there, but I'm not like trying to dictate or do anything. And the last time, so thank you, Suzanne. Thank you, Suzanne, for that. The last time that we were on as well, during one of the meditations, I saw what I believed to be the Arcturians, and they wrapped me in a purple cloak. Very next day, I was out in a charity shop. First thing I see is this.
Cloak.
I know, £4,
Wow.
pounds, total bargain, total bargain. But what you're saying earlier at the start was about how you live in your life and everything, because I'm got to the point now where I'm normally I can kind of keep things under control, and I can stay, quite stoic and quite, sometimes I get happy, sometimes I'm a mess. But today I hit a totally, what is the bloody point of any of it? What is the point? And if I can't see what is the point, what is the point of what people with autism is going through? What is the point of any of the whole bloody thing? And uh I did have I've had experiences before doing hallucinogenics where I've actually left my body and I've gone to a place where everything is like, oh my God, it's blissful. And I seem to like, I know the point, but I can't sustain that in 3D human life. And sometimes I busy myself with stuff and I'm thinking, oh, I'm doing this telepathy thing. And like you said, Kevin, earlier on, like we're on the brink of something that humanity, to our knowledge, has never ever come across and been in these times before, and that literally souls are lining up, and they're like, I know that they're in awe of us all down there going through all this. Um, but I mean, I approached the SALT team at my college last year, and I talked to them about the telepathy tapes. I could have just said I bought a tomato in the shop today. No interest, no connection, absolutely do not want to have any connection to it at all. And I'm just like, sometimes it feels like you're just battling an uphill battle.
Yeah, well, that's part of that's why you're here, is to figure that out. Because
Yeah.
when you're trying to force somebody to believe something that you believe, then you're not in alignment. You're not being guided by your soul. And so the whole secret of this journey, and we'll get into this during the call, is to get out of the head and the fear and the need for justification and defense and all those unsafe things that we've learned as habits, and then to move back into the center of our being and open up to the internal soul guidance, which is always pure, it's always positive, it's never in a hurry because there's only now. So there's nowhere to get. There's no destination. There's no validation we need. There's only the now moment. And the more that, and I was there too, Hazel. I spent lots of my early life defending myself and justifying, and this is the right way. And see, you got to figure this out. This will be better for you. I didn't know that would be better for anybody because I wasn't them. And I was just deflecting
Mm.
myself from actually stepping into my own guidance. It was a way of avoiding the pain that was inside of me. So you come back around to it eventually. You get connected to yourself, you relax, breathe, let go of the need for any kind of defense, and then just move into that center place. That's like what we're going to do in the meditations here. And then you'll be guided to speak your truth when it's appropriate and not care what they think. Get into that place where you're speaking because it's coming through, not because you're looking for validation coming back. You speak it, express it. Speak, express. Can be through painting, through artistry, it can be through music, it can be through design, it can be through engineering, it can be. But the point is to be the channel outward and not care what the reflection looks like. And then you can always be in a state of bliss because you're not attached to the outcome. So let's talk about this. Let's get into the meditation, get that under our belts, and then we can keep talking about this and anything else that you guys want to talk about in terms of all of this connection. Does that make sense? All right. It's a beautiful way to start because Hazel speaks for all of us, I'm sure. At some point or another, you felt like you had to justify yourself, defend yourself, be validated. Yeah. But our journey is to start letting that go. And here we are together doing that. All right. So let's just relax then, kind of get settled into wherever you're at, make your adjustments, feel nice and comfortable. Kind of breathe in, let go of the day, let go of any tension you might be holding on to. And when you're ready, close your eyes and take a nice deep breath in. Just hold it and let go. Breathing that air all the way out. In again. Hold it. And as we exhale, we just feel our shoulders soften and relax. Feel that wave of relaxation go through the whole body. And one more time. And as we exhale, we just settle into the now moment, into the present. Find our own natural rhythmic breathing pattern. Not trying to control anything, not trying to make anything happen. Just letting go and feel a natural flow of energy. It's all around us, supporting us, guiding us, holding us. Just relax and fall back into its arms, loving arms. Just be carried downstream from this beautiful stream of loving infinite consciousness, embracing us, carrying us towards all of the things that are important to us without judgment, without needing to get any place. Just feeling the soft, gentle waves of this stream, just gently carrying us. Feels so good to completely relax our bodies. Just feeling waves of relaxation come in through the top of our head, through the crown chakra, and just flow through the body, out the arms and legs and hands and feet, down into Mother Earth, this huge, beautiful, loving, grounding energy. And each breath in lets a little more energy come through us, relax the cells and the muscles and the organs. Flowing out any built up tension, any toxins that might be lurking around, any old limiting beliefs. Just each out breath just blows them away. We watch our thoughts just drift off into the distance, just like little thought bubbles, leaves floating through the sky. Any thoughts that come into the mind, you just detach from them and let them float away. Just watch how interesting these little thoughts just flying around, floating away, not engaged with them, not attached to them, just dropping into the now, back into the now. Feeling the expansiveness of our being start to appear. Feeling the non-physical, spiritual soul part of us beginning to flow in even more and expand, expand, and expand. So big that our body can't even contain it anymore. Just like a beautiful energy bubble floating, expanding, encompassing all of our being, expanding out into the city and the country and the whole planet. Feeling this immense encompassing of all that is, sharing our energy with all who need it, flowing from source energy through us and out, through us and out, not being attached to where it goes, who receives it, and knowing that we always have an infinite supply. Whenever we relax and just open up the valve, energy just flows to us and through us. and to us and through us. Such a beautiful feeling to be in this immense energy field of pure love, pure unconditional acceptance, freedom, joy, and in knowing that all is well, we are well. There's nothing for us to do but enjoy the energy flow. Completely relaxed. As we stay in this open and receptive state, we just allow ourselves to drift back into the body. Just one point of view, looking through the eyes of this third dimensional physical being. One of many views that we have available to us as an infinite, eternal, indestructible being of pure consciousness flowing off the ocean of all consciousness. We can allow ourselves to look through the eyes of the human being while maintaining this open connection and broader view of all that is. What a beautiful, perfect blending of our beings to have in this now moment. And so now it's time to open the focus to the physical body back up again. Start to feel the body come back into our physical existence, feeling the arms and legs, and fingers and toes, and wiggling them, and feeling the massive presence of who we really are, here and now, knowing that all is well. Well, that was fun. Why did I feel a lot coming through? That's one of the deepest meditations I've ever felt come in. You guys are really connected here today. And if you had any experiences specifically during the meditation that you want to share, I do invite people to write them down if you had something that felt important to you, because the mind will tend not to record it in long-term memory when it comes through the third dimension or the higher dimensional sense. What did you guys experience? I was really guided. Like I've said some of those words before in meditation, but not in that order. And I really felt the expansive bubble as what was it was coming through, and I could feel the immensity of all of you guys. This journey that we're on here sharing. Who wants to share? Anybody want to share?
Yeah, I'll share for a moment. This is Jody.
Hi, Jody.
Hi. Yeah, Kevin, you really went deep.
Felt like it.
Oh, wow. Thank you. Thank you.
Did you have any specific awarenesses, or was it just the beauty of the energy itself?
Just your openness and acceptance and welcoming of us as souls. I just really felt that. Yeah, it's just, yeah, my cats are all coming around. They all gathered as you spoke.
I seem to have that effect on cats.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do.
And I see Annalie's got her cat right there.
That was beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you for sharing. It is amazing how animals in nature have no problem being quote unquote selfish in their going where it feels good. They don't need anybody's approval. They don't care what other people think. They just go and get what they need.
Actually, he has been upstairs sleeping all day, and just when you started we started the meditation, he came down the stairs.
Is that Noah?
Yep.
Of course.
He knows this stuff.
Yeah, he's got a lot of experience with us. Oh, that's wonderful. Scott, yeah, go ahead.
Okay, it's hard to do this on a phone. So I really, actually, I don't think I can talk about what happened during the meditation, because I went to my death in my previous life, and it has revealed a trauma that I have in this life, and something I'm working through right now. And I'll start crying again if I even talk about it. But the reason I had my hand raised earlier was to say that when we get into the discussion, I wanted to follow up on something you said, that I've thought about, but now you made me think about it even more, which is about how the connection to beings from outside of our planet is becoming more popular. I don't tell many people. I used to not tell many people this. Now I don't care. And what I wonder is if this was the gateway that ignited my telepathic abilities at the age of 5. So what happened to me at about the age of 4 or 5, I was in bed, where the house we lived in, there was a stream, creek, not really a river, a creek that we played in as little kids. Behind that was a giant field. Now, this is at the age of 4 or 5, so I had no idea what a crop circle was, nor really what aliens were. But I was asleep one night, and I was awakened and had the urge to run over to the window and look out back. When I looked out back, there was a spacecraft sitting there with 3 beings taking soil samples in front of the craft. And one of them looked up and realized that I was watching them, and telepathically told me, do not come out here. Go back in bed. And me being a 4 or 5-year-old, I was just like, I considered him an adult figure. So I went, okay. So I went and just jumped back in bed. And as soon as sun came up, I bolted out the back door and ran through the yard and across the stream. And in that field was a crop circle right where I saw that ship. All the grass was beat down, And so my whole life remembered that. I mean, it was like, and I just didn't talk about it, but it was my first experience with telepathy, because he talked to me in my head. And it makes me wonder if that it was sort of a spark gateway. I had a few experiences throughout my teenage years, and then the big one, when my dad died, he left his body, he came over to see me, and I had what was called a shared death experience, is the name for it, where I saw his tunnel open up. I could actually see, feel, hear the hereafter. 2 angels came down to the end of the tunnel, said, it's your time, you have to go. And so he looked at me and said, they're calling me now and I have to go. And they went up the tunnel went closed, phone rang, and it was a hospital calling to say he had just died. And I said, I know, he was just here. He's doing great, by the way. And then they wanted to institutionalize me, but that's a whole nother.
Yeah, of course they did.
No,
yeah.
I'm serious. They actually were going to sign the papers.
Wow.
So anyway, but back to the 5-year-old and alien encounter, I remember it my entire life. And it makes me wonder if that was the spark of the remembrance of telepathy for years later. Anyway, just wanted to share that part.
Yeah, wow, powerful story. And thanks for being open and vulnerable on that.
Yeah, this is the age of disclosure, not to quote the name of the documentary, but things that I've known. I actually know people. I lived in New Mexico. My car was from Roswell. I know people who talk to people firsthand who were involved in the crash recovery and bodies and all that. So, I mean, I know all that stuff has been real, and it's only finally maybe going to come out, I hope, in full disclosure. But,
yeah, it seems like we're heading that way. Certainly, just the discussion alone opens people's minds up, and I think it makes it more likely that we manifest. Some of us, at least, who are more open to it, will manifest the firsthand experiences, like you had. I've never had a firsthand experience, but I've had friends like you who have had firsthand experiences over the years, and I think it's, as you say, it's sort of the seeding of the the letting go of the fears, and the seeding of the possibility that, oh yeah, maybe this is possibly real.
I think it was key in my life to make me live outside of the box that society tried to shove all of our minds into. And I think it was important. It was an important event for me. So my guides have told me anyway.
Well, the fact that you're opening communication with guides to begin with is beyond what a lot of societies is at right now.
Yeah.
But how wonderful. I mean, when we started listening to the Abraham Hicks channeled workshops back in 2008. I was diagnosed with a brain tumor, and then about a week later, that showed up. And before that, none of this was real to me. I was an engineer, scientist. Body dies, consciousness dies, you're dead. The end. And suddenly there's more. But I believe that everyone's journey is to come into contrast to challenging situations that we ourselves, our souls, has set up that we wanted to explore, so that we can find our way back to this awareness of who we really are. And how far we get and which direction we take is not really relevant. It's our own personal journey, our own soul's journey. We have free will and we can go in any direction. But it's so much more fun, I discovered, anyways. We've discovered, Suzanne and me, is when you do it with other people. Because there's a little bit of extra validation, which sometimes we need to get over that hump of disbelief or fear of being strange and so forth. And now this community, I mean, the Facebook group itself that this is a part of is 14,700 people, I think, something like that, who are all on some version of this journey. Think about how many people that is. We'll all have some idea of what we have, some knowledge of this broader consciousness connection, of which telepathy is one channel in the whole radio. Anyway, Verena, go ahead.
Hi.
Hi.
So I have two things that I wanted to share. I had a migraine, I guess, a headache, like a really big headache just today. And I wasn't even sure if I was gonna make it. And I slept until 5 minutes before the meeting started. And it was really sweet because like I didn't feel like I had any control. I couldn't do anything anymore. But I feel there's so much download coming these days, and like the solar flares and everything is like I really feel my body changing. And it's like I've never had headaches or migraines ever in my life other than this year, where it feels like, and it's only on the weekend, and it's only when I'm like not doing anything, so it really feels like my body is upgrading and there's things going on. And today I saw the grays.
Wow.
Like while I was closing my eyes, trying to get away from the pain, like I saw all the grays sitting around me, being like, "Hi," I was like, "Okay, good. Like just do your thing. I'll knock myself out for a while."
And for those who don't know, the Greys are an extraterrestrial species that goes way back in our history, from what I recall. So you saw them, you connected with them spiritually. That's what I'm hearing.
Yeah, I have been a little bit, but they were like right anyway. But that wasn't even what I wanted to share. Like a couple of weeks ago, I met someone also just like in a group somewhere. I asked the question, we started connecting and then started writing. And I was like, I'm falling in love with someone that I haven't ever seen, not even really a picture of. But like we're starting to form such a strong connection that I wouldn't have ever dared to believe to be possible. And after that, like, yeah, it's been super nice. It's like we haven't met in person yet because we're on different continents, but it's like such a magical experience. And it's also for me such a good way it feels to actually trust my feelings and to, because there are so many learned limitations that come up in the process of like, oh no, you can't, oh no, like, you know, like it's not real because you're not in person seeing each other, and all of these things that we have that I heard all my life that, you know, like that are there. And it's so it feels so beautiful to every time just say, no, if I feel it, it's real. And that is my only guidance. And that's the only guidance that I need. And to like catch myself coming back to that again and again so that it can grow and into something even more beautiful over time. And I thought you would appreciate that here in this group.
Yes, and okay if I add a little bit.
Of course.
Because this is so beautiful. This is a reminder for all of us that the frequency that we emanate based on where we're consistently focusing is the frequency which it was reflected back to us. That is the law of attraction. That's the law of vibration, whatever you want to call it. We're vibrational beings in a vibrational universe. Wherever we're focused consistently, we create an energy field that's constantly reflecting back how we feel. And so this person on the other side that you're feeling so much love for is you. It's the mirror showing you where you've come, Verena. And it may and currently certainly unfold into a potential physical relationship. That's, who knows where it's going to go. But that to me can be a really big takeaway for your journey and something to be really proud of, because that means you're doing that work as you were just talking about, getting out of your head, letting go of the fearful beliefs in the moment. And the universe says, oh, here, look in this new mirror that you're now in. Nice job.
Exactly. And with somebody who is on a similar path and who has these abilities also, and who's also willing to explore this in a very unconventional way, like, because that's not so easy to find either.
Well, it wasn't, because you didn't believe it, but now you see that it's easy. And so of course you have to attract this group and other people who match this new belief system. So again, I say, pat yourself on the back. You did a great job getting to this point. Everybody, does that make sense to everybody? Sometimes it's hard to accept that, oh, this beautiful thing shows up and I had nothing to do with it. But no, you have everything to do with it. Look for the positive synchronicities is what I like to say now. This is my new mantra for this year. I learned this one this year. Only look for the positive synchronicities. And when you see them, dwell in the energy and then say, yeah, I did that. I created that. We created all, but yeah, that's the one I want more of. Oh, thanks for sharing. I'm very happy for you, Verena. Go ahead, Suze.
So thanks for sharing that, Verena. That was really cool, because it reminded me of how fun it is to get that feeling when you're really totally connected with someone. You've not felt it ever before in that way. And for me, it was kind of scary, because when Kevin and I first met, through synchronicities in a meditation class, I was actually hating men. So the thought of even looking at another man was my belief. It was a false belief. I couldn't trust them. And that's what I carried, you see. And then Kevin and I just slowly became friends through this meditation class. And I began to realize, oh, maybe that belief isn't really true. Maybe there is one man. I only met one Kevin at that point that seemed like a man of integrity, but I don't know. And so this went on for another year. And then one time, we had just become friends, which is the best way when you have that false belief that you can't trust anyone, including yourself, that you can, really, you have to count on yourself for everything. We went to a little fun whirly ball game. It's a fun game. I'd never played it before. You're in these little bumper cars and you toss around wiffle balls and get them in the basketball. Now, anyways, when we were all done, Kevin said, "Do you want to go sit at a park?" And I thought, okay, that's nice. It's beautiful Saturday. And we went over to this park and sat under a tree. And like you're probably feeling with this person you've met, Verena, I mean, we just couldn't stop talking. Like, there were so many things we wanted to talk about. At that time, I wasn't thinking potentially even he and we were just talking about, what do you want in life? What kind of person would you like to meet? And all of these things just open. And when the sun went down, we sat there so long, and the moon came up. I'll just never forget it. Kevin and we touched our hands together, and a spark, I'm not kidding you, of energy went up my arm, down my back. I'm getting chills right now remembering it. And I was so like, oh my gosh, what is this? What is this unknown feeling I've never had with anyone? And it scared me actually. And I just couldn't imagine what that was. But the fun part about this story that I'm sharing is even if you have some false beliefs you haven't gotten rid of yet, like, oh, I don't trust men, they're all not good, and you don't even trust yourself to make a wise decision on who you're going to be friends with. The universe knows your desire to want to begin to trust, and the universe will bring you, spirit will bring you together in the most unusual way, just innocently, like Kevin and I did, so that you can slowly let go of that, just start taking on a new perspective. And that's what I did that night after I got that amazing chill down my back. It was just, and even to this day, he can touch my back and I still get it. But it was I don't know, I just wanted to share it because I know what that feels like when you first connect with someone that's on the same wavelength as you. And I had to work through some false beliefs before I could really know, oh, this is someone I want to be with for a long time, even if we never get married. I just thought, I want this beautiful man of integrity as a friend. This feels really good. And over the years now, of course, I don't have any false belief about everyone is a beautiful soul. We're all pure love. We've just forgotten who we really are. And we're working our way back there now with all of the stuff that we're going through. I think we're humanity and all of us, especially on this call, we're raising our consciousness, every little story we share. So we love when you share.
Thanks. And more magic to come.
Yes.
Can I say one quick?
Yeah, go ahead, Verena. Yeah.
To answer that, like, I think I've been thinking about relationships and how all of these things also for my work, because I offer a course and I wrote a course around that. And like what I see many people saying, like, oh, you know, exactly what you just described, like, I'm just waiting for this magic to happen and this person, and then I can build my trust and all of that. But actually, what I'm starting to really see in myself is that we so have to do this inner work. We like I've in the past few years I've met so many people and I saw conflicts coming up and I was always like, no, okay, I'm sorry, like you're probably a nice person, but this is exactly the kind of thing I don't want to be in anymore. And so like going through this and building up the inner strength, building up the inner trust, building up all of these things is what now enables me to be in a situation where I feel there is another person who is actually meeting me exactly where I want to be met, who is saying exactly the things where I'm like, you know, all the defenses drop, all the like, but it is the inner work that we first have to do if we've not grown up in that kind of way with these kinds of relationships in order to be able to match that person energetically that can actually be there for us in that kind of way.
Yeah. And isn't it nice to know that wherever we are, there's the reflection. So you can always know. That's the greatest thing about relationships, or one of the greatest things about relationships is they show us where we are not free in our belief systems. And so you can look at if when you can get to that point, and I'm pretty new myself, but you can get to that point noticing, oh, this person is triggering this part of me. This maybe I have an abandonment issue, maybe I have a judgment issue, maybe there's something that where I am responding negatively to something they say or do. And it doesn't have to be a love interest. It can be anything. It's all reflecting, oh, that's where I believe I'm not free. I've got a belief that's running, and learning then, as you say, Verena, this is if you want the best relationship, you got to have the best relationship with yourself. And then the external world, the mirror has to change to exactly match the new, more free version. And it never ends. That's the things that another thing that's sort of false in our society is this idea of the soulmate, the one love that we find that's out of 8 billion people, there's one person and we got to find that person or we won't be happy. Abraham says, but what you really want is to mate with your own soul. Once you've mated with your soul, then the universe will bring in the relationships of all different kinds to match the connection that we have inside. And you can have many soulmates if in different ways, business and career and family and everything else. Yeah, we have the power. It's right within our consciousness. I love that you're experiencing that and sharing it, Verena. Yeah, Peter. So go right ahead.
Yeah, great discussion. It kind of, boy, everything sort of wraps together in terms of what's happening. Especially, I mean, what you said earlier, Kevin, about, sorry, what was can you tell me what your mantra for this year is again?
Me?
Yes.
I don't remember. What did I say? Because I channeled it.
It was focus on positive people or invite positive people.
Yeah, positivity.
Positivity.
Yeah, positive synchronicity.
Yes.
Yes. So this is and Verena, my heart goes out for you. It's wonderful what you're experiencing. It's an ongoing journey for all of us, I think. The vibration. However, I don't I don't really want to put a damper on it, but I'm sort of experiencing something that I think many of us have probably experienced over the years, but now I'm sort of experiencing it again with eyes wide open, so to speak. And it's seeing the vibration change of somebody else where we used to have a similar vibration, and our vibrations always change. I mean, mine has been going in a certain direction, certainly for the last 2 years. And this is a friend where when we met maybe 2 or 3 years ago, we were of a similar vibration. But unfortunately, her vibration has gone a little dimmer or darker. I know why, I can unpack why, but the fact remains that we are such diverging vibrations, and it almost comes a point where it's just the letting go. I can no longer assist or help or even share. I can send out my vibration and the light if it's wanted or needed. But at a certain point, she's on that journey to go over there, and I'm on my journey to go over here. And this is just what happened. It's seemingly sad. I think a lot of people could see it as sad, but I don't. We all have our own journey. There's just something else I wanted. Just give me a second here.
No, that's okay. So you're talking to all of us. This is sort of what I was talking about earlier in the idea of mating with your own soul.
Well, this is yeah, exactly. This is why it all kind of it all comes together in this, and it's I wrote something on Facebook for friends. I think I might have made it public. I can't remember, but it's all about just this team analogy, as our ego is all. We are all a team of one if we listen to our ego, and our ego is kind of part of the human experience. Not that we have to reside there all the time, but it's very important to exist as a human. But as long as I believe, as long as we realize that, then we can sort of go, be quiet, ego, for a little bit. I'd like to go back over here for a while. Don't worry, I'll be. This is what I say during meditation. I go, I'll be back. Don't worry. You can shout loudly again, but just be quiet for a bit. So I almost think there's like everyone's a team of one, with their ego as the team captain. We all can play on different courts and play together cooperatively or competitively. And sometimes some people go, I don't want you on my team anymore. We don't play the same way.
Yeah, well, vibrationally, that you can't stop that from happening.
No, exactly. So yeah, exactly.
Yeah, well, but you're bringing up a good point here, Peter. What you can do is mute your own vibration. You can get stuck back, and the ego. We need an ego, as you said, to be human. It's we're here for the dualistic journey. But the only way you can stay in somebody's life who's not on your vibration is to go back to their vibration. Right? Nobody is in our lives anywhere, even though it looks like people randomly come and go sometimes. Nobody's in our life that's of any significance who isn't exactly matching our vibration.
Yeah.
Moment. And
but
so
it's kind of like the vibration of I mean, I don't want to reach her vibration because I feel that
why
her
would you?
vibration is
Yeah.
residing in a place of negativity and anger, and gosh, I've been trying to stand by her side through this for so long, but it's eventually it's kind of like, you know.
Well, and that's what you just said. Eventually, you're already getting negative emotion that's
Yeah.
telling you that you're using her as a reason to stay in a low vibration.
Yeah.
If it's exhausting you, then that's what's happening.
Yes.
So is there really a question here? You know what to do.
Yes. No, there's no question. It's just sort of like a, you know,
reflection.
we talk about the meeting of like-minded and the meeting of vibrations, but there's also the opposite where there's a stark divergence of vibrations too.
There's never a stark divergence of vibrations. There's only an exact match of vibrations. It's like saying, oh, I just happen to be on the jazz station, but rock and roll was coming through. No, if you're experiencing jazz, you're on the jazz station. If you're experiencing rock, you're on the rock station. And that's okay. That's part of the reflection. You don't think you can
have two radios playing at the same time?
You are one radio. You have an inner being, the higher non-physical version, which is at the top. It's the highest frequency radio station. And then you have the human mind, which determines where you are on the dial. If you're feeling really good, you're on the station of your inner being.
Yeah. But I can feel some people are sending me rock and roll messages, and some people are sending me jazz, and I'm sending out.
No, they're not sending you anything. You're tuning and listening to those stations. So when you learn to care about how you feel, then you'll know where you are on the dial. Like I won't put up with negative people being around me anymore for any length of time.
Yeah.
Because I feel I'm still kind of weak because I can feel myself going into their energy. And so I'm in a cocooning stage. This whole year has been that way for some reasons that I can't go into right now that have helped me to realize how easily I get called into certain people's vibration. And I go back into an old Kevin, a 5-year-old Kevin that was in a defensive mode, or, oh, I'm going to be abandoned. So I got to do this thing that's not me, but it kept me safe when I was a child and blah, blah, blah. No. Now, if I have to go live in a box on the beach by myself, of course, Suzanne would be there, but I would do that if it meant having a place where I could practice my own vibration more securely. And I want to get to the place. I've been told this in channeling sessions a number of times. They said, you want to get to a place where you're so steady in your alignment with your inner being, you feel so good all the time, or as often as possible, that you can walk into a room of negative people and they will either come up to your energy field or they will leave the room. But you will not be affected by this. This is what Jesus did. This is what Buddha did. That's why they could heal people. Because they weren't healing anybody. They were just holding the vibration so strong of alignment that the people around them had to let go of their negative energy and start healing, or they had to leave. This is what you want to be. This is what I want to be. You're right on the path, Peter. You're just like doing so great.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for those words. Thank you.
This is deep stuff we're talking about. This, like I said, we're on the leading edge of the leading edge here. So we are masters and we are practicing mastery. There's really no masters. There's only practicing of mastery.
I have another question, but I'll leave it. I'll shelve it and let others. And if
you can bring it around.
I'll bring it around.
Yeah. And because then we'll go to Annalie here. And I think there might've been a question in the chat, which I want to address here in a second, but go ahead, Annalie.
Well, I also want to share something that it's not about relationship with somebody else, but it's very much about the relationship with me, which is the same thing, I'd say.
Yeah.
I have been farm shopping for decades. I live in a nice place. I like it, but I rent it. It's not mine for life, as far as I know. Anyway, So I've been looking for my home from my home. So I have not been in a hurry because I'm in a place where I like to live. But I have always been doubtful that I will actually find that place. And if I find it, I can afford it. And I mean, Kevin, you know, I've been talking about this for years. And like seeing that my belief has been that any farm, I mean, I have 4 horses and I need a pretty big farm. I mean, not big, but and my belief has been that the farm that I want will be too expensive. I can't afford it. And it has something to do, of course, with worthiness. And so the farms that I've been kind of looking at as a possibility, they have been like maybe not in a really good shape, but I'll fix them. Anyways, I might have talked about this in this group a couple of months ago. I'm not sure. But in September, something happened around here that annoyed me. And I came home and talked to my cat, Noah, and I told him, Noah, this winter we're going to pack. We're going to pack cat things, we're going to pack horse things, and we're going to pack human things. Because next spring we're moving. And I was so determined that I just, that was kind of breaking point, I'd say. So 3 weeks ago, I think, tomorrow, I went, I saw this ad for a farm. I've seen it for almost a year. And I was like, still not sold. I wonder why. It's a beautiful house. It's a huge house. It's a beautiful old farm. And then they had this, I don't know what you call it in English, but you can go. There is the real estate agent is there, and you can go look at the
Open
place.
house is what we call it.
An open house. Okay. So I asked a friend if she would join me, and she did, and we went there. And all the other farms that I have been looking at, they have been like 5 hours away or 3-4 hours away. This was an hour away from where my family lives, my friends live, and where I live, most of them. And so we went, and I was like, it's too expensive, and blah, blah, blah. This thing was going on. And I probably not gonna like it anyway. But when we came there, I was like, I love the energy in this place. They had 4 horses and cats, and I could feel the cats were really harmonious. The horses were really harmonious. Everything was just, wow, it's quiet. It has so many things that I really want. There were things that I didn't think that I thought that I would mind. But when I was just standing there in the yard or in the house, it was just like, wow, this place is really, really, really talks to me. And then everything went really fast. I got a bank loan. There were some issues, but I was just like, okay, I'm just gonna feel. I'm just gonna be cool. I'm just gonna chill, because if this is gonna happen, I'm gonna get the bank loan. And I got the bank loan. And things just moved. And suddenly, 10 days ago, I signed the contract. And I'm going to move in June. And it's not a wreck farm. It's not in a bad shape. It's a really good, solid house and really good, solid barn for my horses. And there is enough land for us, all of us. And I mean, it's just, amazing. It's 20 minutes from the sea, from the ocean, which is one of my really things that I really want. And it is like, and I could afford it. And people around me say, when I show the pictures and stuff, they say, how could you get that farm for that money? How is it even possible? And we were 3 different buyers, 3 people, and they picked me. There was no bidding, really. I mean, everybody placed a bid, but there was a higher bid, and they just choose me for whatever reason. So it was, and I know that it's all about me.
Yeah, it's energy. It's your energy,
Yeah.
which is so magical these days. And so,
And that I really took the stand that day in September.
Yeah.
It's going to happen this spring, and I'm moving in June.
Yeah.
I get the keys the 1st of June. It's
so
like,
something you let go of, and which created, you moved to the truly a state of knowing, which, as we know, is alignment, top of the emotional scale, completely bonded with your inner being, with your soul, as we were saying. And in
Yeah.
that moment, you were given the guidance and the knowing, would you say?
Yeah.
It's very clear in your words that there was no doubt.
No. And that was sometimes when my brain started going, am I crazy?
The brain will
what
do
am
that.
I doing? Am I crazy? It was like watching a movie.
Yes, and that's as it should be, as they say. You know, you become the observer and let the guidance flow through, and then it has to work out.
Yeah.
Wow, what a great story. And I've been following it privately with you, but my goodness, to just watch it happen so quickly. And as you said, it was 3 weeks. I mean, think about that,
after
guys.
decades of trying.
Yeah, decades of resistance, of the old story that hadn't quite come up for you to see it, and then in whatever moment it came up and you released it. And then, of course, it's like I say to everybody, including myself, the universe is always trying to deliver us everything we want. It's like it's always right at the front doors. That's as far as it can bring it. And everything's manifesting. Everything we want is right at the front door, but we're usually at the back door.
Exactly. And it's just amazing that it's, I mean, I can just move in. I don't have to fix a lot of things. I can just walk through the door and start living.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. I looked at the pictures, Annalie. I was so excited for you. I wanted to just pick up the phone and say, oh my God, it's perfect. It's so perfect for you. And I smile when I think about how long and hearing the story, how you opened the door. You moved from the back door to the front door when you said to your cat, we're packing human stuff, animal stuff. And you opened the door and said, okay, universe, I'm packing it up and I'm ready to receive. And you didn't know how that was going to unfold, but I love your ability to, I don't even know what the word is, to understand the power of alignment and get there with patience and
with yourself. Yes, patience.
Yeah, with yourself. Yeah, just that's the best relationship anyone can have, the one with yourself, where you now have experience that you can trust. You can trust what you're hearing from that beautiful inner being. And that's how we build trust in everything, beginning with us and then with others.
So tying it back to the bigger picture, this is what we're talking about, like with Peter, the idea of finding the radio first, opening up to that there is a non-physical aspect of us and that we have guidance always available. And it's always pure, loving. It's always knows what we want. It's always sending it to us. The telepathy channel is part of that same radio. We'll explore that here in a second a little bit more. But the reason we're having these conversations in an exploring telepathy call is because they're the foundation laying for telepathy. Right? Sometimes those who are fairly new to this, they think, oh, well, I just want to read minds. So I'm going to be my normal pissed off negative self, but no, I'm going to go read minds. No, you're not. You need the foundation of being able to relax and come into that knowing of who you are and soften the resistance. And it happens sometimes spontaneously, suddenly. I know sometimes things will hit me across the head and it's like, what the hell was that? And it's like, oh, I see something I was resisting. You let go, boom, something flows in. And we just want to get better at relaxing into it and not having to get to such extremes. getting hit over the head with something before we actually then shift our vibration that we are emanating, which is just softening and relaxing. And you've been working so diligently on your background, Annalie, since we've known each other for a while now. And is it surprising that the evidence shows up to reflect the inner work that you've been doing? You might say yes. In some ways, your human says the yes, but your higher self, you knew it was the next logical step.
Exactly. There are some parts that are like, wow, this is like the house of my dreams. How could it land just like that on my lap?
And so you're proving to yourself that it can't be that easy. It's supposed to be that easy.
Yeah.
Why not let other things be that easy?
Yeah.
Yeah. So huge takeaway. I hope everybody's tracking with the immensity of Annalie's story. Not just, it feels like a farm, that's huge, oh my God, that couldn't happen to me. But the universe doesn't have a size differential. As Abraham says, you can manifest a castle or a button. It takes the same amount of energy from the universe. It's your limiting belief that is what prevents the castle from showing up until it doesn't. Well, nice to have a castle, Annalie.
Yep.
I hope we can visit you someday.
Me too. Let's have a meeting, all of us.
Yeah.
In my big house.
Oh, wouldn't that be cool? I'd love to come.
Yes. Yes.
All right, one more question. I see, Hazel, you got your hand up. Well, hang on just a second, Hazel. I wanted to be sure we answered Tammy's question here. We may very well. I think we've talked about this already. And then we'll go to Hazel. Tammy, I see there's a whole bunch of conversation here. Yes, so I'm going right to your last question. Isn't telepathy about reading and duplicating the frequency? Not actually reading the thoughts, but duplicating. Yes. Essentially, telepathy, like all non-physical communication, is about setting the frequency of where the thoughts are. Conventional three-dimensional thinking is that thoughts are in the brain. They're not. Thoughts are part of the consciousness field. So our brain cells are radio transmitters and receivers. Thought and memories do not live in the brain. They're a localized consciousness field that our brain cells tune into. So yes, telepathy is just getting into the frequency range of the broader non-physical communication area and then setting a focus to that radio station of the other person. And then you are sharing thoughts. Yes. And yes, you can originate a thought which then the other person receives, but you're not throwing them at them, and you're also not pulling them out of the other person. You have to be on the same frequencies to have the communication occur. And what we've been talking about all day here is how you get on that frequency. Just find ways to feel good. Let go of the limiting beliefs when you can. Confront them. Face them. Are you real? Am I really not worthy? No, that's a lie. Why? How do I know that? Because it doesn't feel good. When I think a thought that doesn't feel good, that's something that was recorded in my brain from the past that I've been repeating a lot, so it's probably pretty loud and tends to get my attention. Learning not to let those things grab the attention, just like I think maybe Peter was saying, you call it the ego, whatever you want to call it, the more disempowering side of us, which is recorded locally in the brain from past experiences, usually with parents or whatever. It doesn't matter where it came from. Noticing when that takes charge and starts to get our attention and draws us away from this feeling good state, and then doing something about it. And if you don't, you go down the negative path too far, you're gonna have a bad day. So what? You'll sleep. And when you sleep, you reset the vibration. And when you wake up, you have a new potential to start over again. And you just practice every day. And then it becomes more and more easy to get into that frequency. I'll spend up to an hour in bed in the morning, depending on when I wake up, playing a meditation, either sounds or music, or sometimes a guided meditation, and practicing the start of my day so that I can get back into this more centered, good feeling state where I can feel love and joy flowing through my body. Sometimes I'll just get waves of it, and other times I'm disconnected. So I don't put any judgment on the disconnection. I just come back to the gym for my mind and practice again tomorrow. And then over time, you'll get to that point where you're a lot closer to that frequency range. What I'm doing now with the meditations is a version of this same thing. I've been practicing for years. I've had Facebook groups that we've been doing. We've had meetup groups here for a long time, probably more than a decade. And practicing guiding others in meditation has allowed me to practice this exact same thing, because I don't read a script. I start with a few common things, and then I just let go. And whatever I notice that comes up, if it feels good before I say it, then I say it. And I just keep doing that. Oh, here's another idea. Here's another idea. And I'm conscious channeling, and that flows through me. And sometimes I'll start to feel myself saying, "Oh, but they got to know this." And that's, oh, no, that's my brain. Okay, I didn't feel quite. It wasn't quite as good. Okay, not going to say that one. Back into a state of presence. Back into my heart space right here. Okay. Oh, there's an idea. Flow that through. And that's the practice. You just find a practice that will work for you, and you just keep practicing it. And then you'll start to get glimpses. You'll start to get that positive impulse that when you follow it, it leads to something that you want. That's called the synchronicity. That's what we were talking about earlier. So you start looking for the positive synchronicities, the positive feedback. And when you get unwanted feedback, you ignore it. You just say, oh, yeah, okay, that's telling me that I'm pointed in a direction that I don't want to be pointed at. That's okay. And then when I'm in that state, then things like this show up on my clock, and I get a signal in this now moment as I'm in this positive state of mind of alignment. My inner being says, oh, here's something you'll like. Look over here, Kevin. Oh, yeah. I like seeing all ones on the clock. It's a little positive thing. That's a positive synchronicity. Happens all the time. Start noticing them, and the whole rest of the system will work on its own. Everything you want comes through the same system. So I hope I answered that.
Yeah, a little bit. I think, I practice that a lot, and what I've found in my practice, I also do meditations. So when I'm teaching a meditation, I'm more able to channel. So I notice that. I feel like I have a lot of really serious blockages that kind of try to keep me safe, where I noticed my family was very projecting, and I lived in a very unsafe household. And so my
That was in the
theory,
past. So what's going on now?
right, my theory is that I've got all these blockages that are still trying to keep me safe, that are like blocking all of these projections, because for me it's a risk to read someone's frequency and then be able to actually relate to that. It
So
doesn't
that's the
make me
limiting belief.
feel
Would you agree?
um
Or no?
well, it's possible. Yeah, I believe I'm processing it now out loud, just discovering it, trying to figure out what these blockages are
Well, that's where
doing
you're
and
trapped.
how to get.
Okay, because the law of attraction will only attract more of the frequency that you're on. And so when you focus on the problem, even if it's with the guise of trying to find a solution to the problem, you have to attract more evidence of the problem. And so that's the human brain. That's what you've been trained. You went to school, you got to solve problems, you got to figure it out, blah, blah, blah. The answer already exists. Every problem creates the solution vibrationally in your higher self. So the only work to be done is to work towards, in each now moment that you don't feel good, towards feeling good. You don't
Okay.
have to address the actual problem, because again, the solution already exists. You created it in the moment that you had the awareness of the quote unquote problem, or the challenge, as it were. And so when you notice that, then that's simply an indicator. Oh, I'm letting my brain start to take me off into a negative direction. How does it feel in my gut, my heart? Oh, it doesn't feel so good. Okay. My job is to stop thinking, to relax, give myself a break, breathe deeply, find something that feels good in my heart, and start focusing there. And then the law of attraction will start to about 15 seconds is all it takes. If you got to practice it a bit. And then you'll start to attract positive thinking thoughts. They might be on a totally different subject, but the point is you're getting on the radio station where the guidance comes. It doesn't matter how you get on that radio station. All that matters is that you get there. And yes, meditation is one way, but that's very restrictive sometimes in our mindset. Here's how I meditate. Here's how I do it. That's your brain again. How does it feel? It feels like effort. Okay, that's not the path. Let's get back on the path. What is the path? That's what feels good. So, Tammy, I see you're typing in here. There's a lot more under here, is what I'm sensing. Not being allowed to finish a sentence. when you finish a sentence that's in a negative state, then you're actually amplifying the negative energy that you're trying to get out of. This isn't a judgment from my perspective. Okay. And if you wanted to have a coaching session privately sometime, I'd be happy to give one to you for free if you're ready to address this. But you've got to be willing to care how you feel about what you're thinking and then interrupt the thoughts in midstream. And one of the things that I do as a coach is sometimes when someone is really starting to churn on a negative perspective and they're starting to talk about all the problems, all you're doing is digging the hole deeper in the moment. It's all true. It's all valid, but it's not benefiting in those moments. So I jump in and sometimes try to break the energy flow down the negative side of the hill so we can get back into the alignment, which is what you were saying that you wanted. So please don't take it personally. This is all, we're all doing the same work. And so I'd be happy to talk with you privately on this and answer all your questions. But right now I want to get back to the telepathy. So I hope you won't shut down as a result of this. I hope we can keep this channel open. We're getting down here on time. Hazel, did you have something you wanted to share? Yeah. I know it's hard on a phone to find that unmute button. Here, let me help you.
Hello?
There you are.
Yeah, just to say, Kevin, that you've answered so much of the things that go around in my head about how to break through your own self-beliefs, limitations. I started writing notes and notes, and then I thought, oh, for Christ's sake, this is going to be recorded, so I can listen
That's
to it
okay.
again.
That's okay.
So but so there was I had a bunch of questions. Don't need to ask any of them now because they're all answered. But just on the subject of telepathy, because I'm very conscious still that when I interact with the two particular students that I do at college, at the back of my mind, I'm thinking, are you still looking for validation, or I feel like I'm asking them to perform for my benefit? Um, I was with Anna on Friday, and we were just walking along from one part of the campus to
She's
another.
one of the
And in my
non-speakers.
mind, yeah. And so and she's the one that in a kind of inner vision showed me a crystal. So we're just walking along, we weren't saying anything. And then I in my mind I just said, Anna, do you work with crystals? And she looked up at me, she smiled, and she went like this.
Mhm.
And then I said, okay, because I'm very conscious of like invading their space, which I know is my crap. And then like we walked down, and a few minutes later, I just in my mind said, Anna, will you show me how to work with crystals? And she nodded and she smiled. But my question is that how do I get? Then I started thinking, maybe should I just throw up to Anna and Hattie? Is there anything you'd like to share with me? Like, because I'm the one that keeps wanting to get information from them. Um, in the college that I work with, it's run by neurotypical people, and I see a lot of things that if say just say I was running it, I wouldn't do it in terms of noise and light and everything else. So so for some reason I'm put there, and I think I want to try and find if I can. It's this weird thing. It's like I think, can I help them? But I don't think, oh, don't be such an
You
egotistical
are
twit.
helping
How
them,
can
but the thing is, you're making it a bigger deal than it really needs to be, in my opinion.
okay,
Okay.
yeah,
So if the more you can get into following your own guidance, this is what we've been talking about all day. Just relax and let go of the self-judgment and the concern, and just listen to that guidance. You've been doing it. Every call that we've had, you've taken another step forward, Hazel.
yeah.
Wouldn't you say?
Well, then I'm obviously blocked somewhere. That's why I'm going to go back over
So
today, over and over again. But yeah,
again, the same as what Tammy was
mm,
saying and others have been saying. You'll only stay blocked if you focus on judging the block.
yeah,
Okay, just let it go. Just do what is working, and that will start to be amplified. Again, we attract where we focus. So you're doing this. I want to put a big spotlight on what you're doing that seems to be working really well. Is you're trusting yourself around Anna, and the other one was what, Harriet, I think.
Hattie.
Hattie, right?
Hattie.
Yeah, and so you're having communication. Have you ever had at a point where they looked at you or were upset that you had asked a question? Every time you've said, "Oh, they noticed when I was talking with them," and they looked over and smiled. So
Yeah.
if you're in a positive state of mind, remember you're the radio transmitter. You can only receive positive feedback. You can only receive positive
Yeah.
connections. You have your hand on the dial at all times. If you're getting what you don't want, then it's time to step back, take a breath, come back into your heart space and feel good again, and then try again. You remember you're not creating in somebody else's reality, somebody else's experience. You only create in your own universe. There are people around us who play with us at our frequencies, but you have no control over their responses. You only have control of your alignment. And so just keep doing what you're doing, I guess is all I have to say about that. Just keep trusting yourself. You have a magnificent gift, Hazel. I think you don't see how big your ability to communicate telepathically is. And these non-speakers who can't speak and are trapped in their bodies want you. Of course, they want somebody who can feel them and communicate with them and help them find a voice. Of course, there's lots of them out there, and they're looking for somebody with your magical abilities, your big heart, your compassion for others, your wanting to be of service. Just keep doing what you're doing. Trust yourself. Does that sound good? Yeah. All right. It's so magical. This is such magical work we are doing here. Yeah, Tammy says, I've been a non-speaker most of my life. I deserve to say one sentence to understand. You deserve to be heard, Tammy. You deserve to speak up for yourself. You deserve to say whatever you want to say whenever you want, and don't let anybody, me included, stop you. Look, we're on a tough journey, guys. Right? Nobody signed up to this human experience to have a life of ease. We all came into big challenges, which we made some choice about, and are going through some challenging times. That is just the reality of who we are. So we can either be miserable about it or we can look for the positive in it. And from the bigger picture, it doesn't matter. Our broader selves are expanding as a result of who we are being. So things are always working out as they are supposed to. So we're really getting down there on time. We haven't done our telepathic experience here. I'm actually wondering, what do you guys want to do? Does anybody have like we can take a moment and do the meditation. We'll go long on the call. You want to do that? I see Justine has got a big, a big yes going on there. All right, hang on a second. All right, so if any of you guys have to leave, that's okay. Right at the bottom of the hour, but we'll do a very short meditation, and I'm just inviting you to relax and follow whatever feels good to you. I was thinking of, you know what? I'm not going to do anything here. No, I won't. So there's, as you can tell, there's so much to talk about this. We could spend the rest of the afternoon talking about telepathy and connection and all of that. But for the sake of expediency, let's just do a quick meditation, see if we can relax into it. And my invitation is to open up to someone you maybe want to talk with, and it can be somebody who's non-physical, somebody who's a past loved one, or maybe a guides, whatever opens to your heart. Then let's do that and just see what happens. Remember, there's no comparison. This isn't a competition. This is about just practicing the vibration. So let's kind of sit back and relax. Take that nice deep breath in. Closing our eyes, we hold it and then breathe it out. Let go of any negative energy that's flowing through us. We breathe in again and out. We find our breathing speed, natural body's breathing speed, and we just drop into the breath, drop into the body, feel the grounding into the planet. Feel a connection opening up. We just invite in whatever beings we feel around us. We move to the frequency by setting intention to whoever we want to talk with. It can be an animal, it can be a past loved one, it could be a non-speaker, it could be a speaker, doesn't matter. Just find the frequency of them, feel the energy of them, feel as though they were right here with you. Notice their presence vibrationally. And then send out whatever you want to send out and hear whatever they have to say back. And trust. Trust whatever you receive, no matter how much it may or may not make sense, is that communication. And I'm just going to be quiet for maybe 2 minutes as you settle into this beautiful frequency and just see what happens. All right, let's bring our attention back into our bodies, back into the physical realm. And if you had anything that you want to capture Now's a good time to write it down if you want to. You can also type it into the chat window. Yeah, go ahead, Verena. What was your experience?
Just a very quick, like it was like the first words I heard were "we all rise together," and like an image of embrace, kind of like all the people connectedness together, and that was like and the dog started shaking next to me as
Oh,
well.
wow. The dog,
Very,
you said?
yeah, like
Wow.
she felt the energy too. I think very powerful energy, just
Wow.
of us. We're all friends. We're all connected. We're all rising together. That kind of message came through for me.
Wow. Nice reflection of your energy, too.
Mm.
Thanks, Verena.
Thank you for everything here.
Anyone else? An experience you want to share? I can tell you that the conversation with Tammy, who dropped off the call earlier, who doesn't feel like she's being heard, I had a conversation with her. And I don't know if I can help her or not. I may not be the right person, but I softened that energy. Go ahead, Hazel.
Can you unmute me?
You're unmuted.
Oh, you can hear me?
Yeah, you did great. You unmuted yourself.
Yeah, so I went back and I went for the frequency of who I needed to communicate with, and it was very difficult because I felt physically sick
Oh, wow.
because it was someone who did me a great deal of harm growing up, and I didn't think I was going to be able to go through with it. It was quite scary actually. But then I asked for Archangel Michael to come to be just there like a intermediary, and so immediately I put a dome around me for protection. But then I thought, well, if we're going to do this, I can't really just stay closed off. So I opened it up a little bit, and it was quite traumatic actually, but very healing in the sense that I could see that this person or the memory or the energy of or whatever it was that was them and we reached an understanding, and I could see beyond the human person into the soul. That was it was that we were, they did their part, and we were working together, and I think a lifetime of question about a lot of stuff connected to that person. I think it can be a closure now, a forgiveness that's gone on. Um, but I never totally did not expect that. I'm like, oh, I might meet an alien or a mermaid or something. And instead it was just like, oh, holy Christ of all the people. But it needed to happen, and it would not have happened without this group because I just would not have gone there. So yeah, thank you.
Well, of course, it's our pleasure, but you would have attracted another group or another support system because you're ready to let go of so much of the past, Hazel. That's something to be really, really proud of within yourself. You're making massive strides in this short amount of time that we've known you. And I think we're all honored to bear witness to your journey. You're sharing all of our journeys. Thanks for being so vulnerable and willing, as you said, to open yourself up, even though it was scary to do so, you said? Yeah.
Yeah,
And so what
I
did
felt
you
sick.
prove
I
to
thought I was going
yourself?
to throw up. Well, I thought I was going to throw up. I could feel like I was back there. And I'm like, oh, and maybe now as well, about the mirror that you're talking about, that mirror exercise. So maybe I can forgive myself now of stuff that I've done and be one more step to opening up.
That's so
Yeah.
beautiful. And you deserve to be forgiven.
And everyone does.
Everyone does.
Everyone
Exactly.
does. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. What a powerful leader you are in this group, Hazel. Thank you for showing us how it can be done. And congratulations to you for taking yourself to the next level. We're all honored to be on this journey together. Well, I don't think we can get better than that. So let's say we wrap up for today. It was incredible, profound, deep. Sometimes it's painful, but man, the pain's only temporary and the joy is permanent. When we just face and feel and release the pain without getting too immersed in it, it just vaporizes. And there's nothing better than bearing witness for each other and sharing the space here. So I appreciate all you guys so very much. So with that, let's wrap up for today. I'll get the recording up probably another day or so. I'm putting them on my YouTube channel now just because Facebook's made such a mess of uploading videos, but I'll post that link in the main group as well. So in the meantime, have a wonderful couple of weeks, wonderful weekend. We love you guys so much. Thanks for sharing your beautiful souls today, and namaste. And we'll see you next time. Bye for
Thank
now.
you, everybody.
Love you guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye bye.
Bye.